I am glad. I'm glad that you're doing that. But
Thank you
something
so much.
I actually wanted to ask you, something that's been on my mind for a minute,
Of course, anything.
was was are you finding yourself becoming more or less aware of things during quarantine in terms of political activity, in terms of spiritual activity, in terms of your own philosophy? I find that, I'm already a pretty weird fucking dude. I stay in my head a lot, but
In the right ways.
but I'm finding that in these times that I'm realizing a lot about myself, about my own perceptions, and about what I believe.
Mm. Yeah.
And I'm just curious, anybody in the chat as well, I'm just curious if that's happening to you. Are you discovering things about yourself in terms of what you believe and what you want to see for the future? And something I've realized is I'm currently so dissatisfied with the state of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think a lot of fucking millennials and Gen Zs or Ys or whatever the fuck we're called, um, I think a lot of them feel that way. This fucking overbearing dissatisfaction with the
Mm.
state of things.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why a lot of people post so many fucking hopeless memes about like the world going to shit.
Yeah.
Is like we all like to laugh at this shit, but like I
Yeah.
think our generation more than any other generation is going through an existential crisis. Like
Yeah.
we're just like everything's just so shit. Can it not just be good? Like, do you get
Yeah.
what I mean? Can
Yeah.
climate change not just be solved? Can politics not just be like a revolving door of corruption? Can bureaucracy just not get in the way of change? Can you take like the things we care about seriously? Like, do you get what I mean? And I
Yeah.
feel like our generation. Oh, someone in the chat said I agree. Oh, I'm
Woohoo.
sorry that you agree because it's a horrible feeling. But hang in there.
Yeah.
You're I hope you're at least trying to come to grips with how you can manifest your own change.
Yeah.
Eric, I'm going to tell you a secret.
Go on. Hit me.
Someone approached me to start a political party.
What?
Yes, and I said no.
What?
I said no.
Okay, Kenan, you know what? Because that is a conversation
And I
in
won't
and
lie,
of
it's
itself.
not been the first time. And
Wow.
I refuse to do it.
Kenna, you know that is a conversation in and of itself. And before we get there, I really, really want to acknowledge what you said there about finding myself and about simply because I think it might help people that are watching. And secondly,
Yeah.
about Gen Z and about the world. Firstly, when it comes to finding myself, I think in many ways I'm a premature thinker. I'm premature politically also, even though people might think I'm somewhat of
You're
a
being too
progressive.
hard on yourself, amigo. You
Am I
think
a
pretty well.
Thank you so much. But even speaking with you, sometimes you can tell that I'm very much on the fence with a lot of issues, and I didn't like being there. I wish I was. I could step out and say, "Hey, I'm a socialist. Hey, I'm a capitalist." But I couldn't. And I think during this quarantine, I've been thinking too much. I think I've been overthinking because I thought that immediately this was a moment for me to find myself. And I think I've been putting too much pressure on myself to find myself. And this is me speaking politically. But for other people, they may be speaking in many different ways. They may be speaking about their well-being, their welfare, their personality, finding
Eric,
balance in
can I
life.
just tell you one thing that
Yeah,
a woman told me while I was in Birmingham, who was a very good poet, and
yeah,
she said this and it stuck with me, and this is for everybody in the chat. Healing isn't linear, man. Like, healing, knowledge, mending, none of that shit is linear, and it doesn't have to be.
yeah.
The ups and
Powerful.
downs is part of the process, okay? Like,
Yeah,
you don't have to feel like you're in this upward trajectory, like
yeah,
you're a fucking advertisement when you're actually just like a fucking human being. But anyways,
yeah.
continue. I just want to tell you
Well,
that.
completely agree. I completely agree. But I think gradually, she said facts. Another one. I have to shout you out. Nene Brooks. She's interactive. She's so shout out Nene Brooks underscore Brooks. But yeah, in terms of me finding myself, this is what it's been like so far. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyways, I think for everyone, you really need to try and she called it again. It's popping out of me when I think, but you really
Gang,
need to
gang, gang,
try
gang.
be as optimistic as you possibly can be and not put pressure on yourself to find yourself. As you said, it's not linear. It's a process. Even with some people, the whole idea of a midlife middle-age crisis, midlife crisis. It's
Yeah.
people getting to a certain age and not knowing who they are, trying to find who they are existentially. So it happens. So people have to understand that it's a process, and there will be ups and downs, but you will find yourself in the end. So what I'm doing at this point in time is trusting the process and understanding that if I come out of this quarantine period a socialist, so be it. If I come out a capitalist, so be it. If I come
That's
out
not a
someone who's,
bad thing, bro.
yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a
If I
bad
come
thing.
out as someone who's
Just saying,
extroverted,
it's not a bad thing.
if I come out as someone who's extroverted, so be it. If I'm introverted, so be it. But I'm me. So that's what I think in terms of me finding myself. In terms of me thinking about the world, in terms of Generation Z, I've been optimistic, and I'll tell you why. I myself have
Yeah,
been.
how the fuck do you do it, man? You're like the most optimistic. Like sometimes, like you just be smiling and laughing, and I'm like, fuck this guy. I love this guy like a brother, but fuck this guy, man. How are you so like just like you're so positive? Like it actually, I'm like, you have no idea how much I envy that, Eric. Like I be joking, but I
Don't envy it.
envy that shit so much. It's such a beautiful aspect to your character. It's like looking at stars and realizing they're flecks of gold in between you and the space, and the sky you're looking at. Like it's lovely, and I just I wish
Oh
I had
wow.
that mindset. But like, so how do
It's
you
kind of
do
my
it?
heart.
Tell us the secret, man.
I
I'm
was
rubbing
gonna
my
say,
hands like Birdman. Let's
how do
go.
I say? I'm gonna try it. Okay, thank you so much. Firstly, I have to thank you for that. I'm so grateful for what you've just said. In terms of how I do it, there's no secret formula. But what I will say, without trying to sound cliche, because there are so many different motivational videos, so many different things people say, and it's almost a cliche at this point. But one thing I say is, let's say Pythagoras' theorem. It's a theorem that people use for mathematical formulas. That is deemed as a mathematical cliche. Why is it deemed as a cliche? Because people can use it over and over again, and it's timeless. So in terms of positivity, what I say to people, uh, what is it? The comment is, was it? I'm gonna just read the comment.
Yo, your friends are going in on you.
Okay.
That's so funny. Every time I see Eric, yours has a big yes,
Okay.
facts. Like, you cannot
Stop.
catch
Stop.
this.
Stop.
Like you're just like a ball of positive energy. It's like how are you this positive, bro? Like I'm going
Okay.
through it every second. And you're just you get a house things, and I'm like, fuck's sake, man.
Trust me, Kena, things they're not. I know behind the smile, behind everyone's smile, there's something else internally. There's things that people are dealing with, and things are not all okay. I'm not smiling because everything's okay. I'm smiling because I want to make everything okay. If you know what I mean. And
Mm,
sometimes
come on,
it is
that's
best to.
facts.
Sometimes it's
That's
best to
facts.
smile, regardless of what you're facing, because your emotions are powerful, your gestures are powerful, words are powerful. So if I can smile, even though I'm not feeling like the greatest, that doesn't mean I don't suppress my feelings and don't express myself. But if I can smile, then eventually I know I can hopefully uplift my emotions, and my emotions will catch up with my gesture and
Oh man, fuck this guy. This guy's so positive.
with the energy that
I can't
I'm
handle
giving.
this positive energy, bro. I'm a pessimist. Like you can't be giving me this positive energy, man.
Well,
It's
thank you
too
so
much for
much.
me to handle. I have to
Everyone,
start fucking
actually,
rethinking my life and shit.
Everyone, thank you so much, Ikena. Thank you so much for the kind words. Honestly, it warms my heart. But I
They're
want to
not
talk about.
kind words. They're true, bro.
Thank you
they're
for the
they're
words.
honest words.
So Gen Z, Ikena, and I think this. I want to talk about this and get onto the political party that you declined to establish. But yeah, Gen Z. I think our generation is the one, Ikena, to do something positive in this world. Never have I ever thought that I would speak to someone from, let's say, a country where I speak about oppression in that country a lot. For example, Ane, she's watching this live. She's a great friend of mine. And I have another a friend from America in my course. They're both from America. I speak to them, okay, about America. And they're patriotic enough to say that they love their country, which is something that I'd expect. But they also talk about how things have to change. And they do that out of genuinity. So when we look at Malcolm X, for example, when we look at the civil rights leaders of the 60s, they spoke about how our oppressors, our quote unquote oppressors, they said that in a racialized way. They will never change the way they think because as long as we're oppressed, things are good for them. Generation Z has showed us that people from different racial groups can come together and accept the fact that right is right and wrong is wrong.
That's facts.
Malcolm realized this after he came back from Mecca. I am realizing this from growing in a generation where people are such symbiotic thinkers. We're such cohesive thinkers. We all want the world to improve. So all we need, Akina, right now, in my opinion, is someone, a network, a movement to unite people and allow these
Mm.
people to identify what the right causes are and the wrong causes are. And once we do that, we'll win over people from all across the world. Want to talk about destroying neocolonization? What if we got people from France, which is a country that is spearheading neocolonization in Africa, that are in Gen Z, to stand up and join some sort of a movement to fight
Mm.
neocolonization? Emmanuel Macron, the French president, he wouldn't be so keen to do bad things to French activists as he would to African activists. So what if we did that? So I think there is so much generation. As you know, I'm a massive fan of Tupac Shakur. I always ramble on about him when I speak to my friends. Why I ramble on about him is because I believe in his generation in the 90s, which is very close to our generation, he articulated the issues of his time better than anyone else. And he's a canonized figure. If you go to Indonesia, go to Nigeria, you'll see people singing All Eyes. You know what I mean? And why he's canonized is because he articulated the issues of his generation. He gave people a reason to rally behind a cause. Now we have
Mm.
problems in our time. What we need to do, men like you, people that are watching this live, what we need to do is articulate our problems so people can rally around a cause. And whether it's a cause that affects African people, females, people from certain racial groups, certain people from developing countries, people will be able to identify right and wrong and take the appropriate and necessary action to change things. So I think there's something momentous on its way in Kenya. I think we're on the brink of a historical change, but we need to be the people that lead it. And we need to try our best to. So that's my optimism. Now I'm going to be calm again. I'm neutral.
You know what, Eric? You know what, Eric? We gonna do something after this live. We gotta. I want to put these words into action. You got me all fired up. You got me actually giving a shit. Well done. Like you've done what nobody else can actually manage. You actually make me give a shit about about not other people, because I do care about other people, but about fighting for a world that seems to fight against you. So we gonna try and manifest this. Let's after this live, it's gonna be no more talks. We're gonna try and put this into action.